Oh, now you can hear me.
Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. Good morning.
Don't mind me. I
Happy.
was just jamming to the music.
Were you awesome? I thought you'd appreciate that, being a DJ. Um, Happy Saturday. Welcome to Soul Treats. I'm Michelle Klassen. I'm broadcasting from Vancouver, Canada, and today is a trippy day for me because I've got Kevin Haight on Soul Treats, and I got to tell you a story. Um,
Oh, I love our stories. Go ahead.
so actually, I was asking Kevin, how long ago was this that I bought my first crystal from Kevin? Kevin had, he was live one day on Facebook, and it just happened to come up on my thing, and I was like, what is this? And I was
What's this?
intrigued. So I was intrigued. So I clicked on it, and there was this guy, and he was doing an auction, and he had this board and had numbers, and I've never done an auction before. And I was so guided to a couple of crystals that he had on the board. Like it was like, bam, I need that one. And I didn't know why I needed it. And I was like, dude, do you ship to Canada? He's like, yeah, I ship to Canada. So he sent it to me. And when I got it, I wish I had it in front of me right now so that I can show people. Maybe what I'll do is later on post a picture of it. And it was this small sphere tiger's eye. And because I'm able to read crystals, but this is clear as day, anybody can see it. There's literally a woman on this crystal, and there's a triangle, and it's showing people walking into this triangle portal. It is so insane. After that, I was like, good God, I am buying crystals from this guy. And the second one I got was this huge amethyst sphere, and there's so many
Oh,
different
yeah.
energies within that. Like, it is intense how many energies are within that crystal. And I was just so amazed. And it's pretty cool that 4 to 5 years later, and I get readings from Kevin, what do you say, like every 6 months or a year, the ascension reading.
Yeah, I
What
think it was actually more frequent than that.
was it?
But yeah,
When I was a
yeah.
little blocked, I'm like, oh geez, I need to get a reading from Kevin. um,
Yeah.
So here we are 4 or 5 years later, and Kevin's
Yeah.
on Soul Treats. So this is really cool and trippy. I really appreciate you being here. I'm going to give it just a
Well,
few
thanks for
shout
having
outs.
me.
Yeah, awesome. I'm going to give a
Yeah.
few shout outs to some people that are here right now. And then I'm just going to turn this over to you, Kevin. I'll come off the screen, and this will be your broadcast. So I just want to say
Sure.
hello to Kathleen. I believe Kathleen's in Scotland. Kathleen, thank you so much for being
Scotland.
here. Scotland. And then Aldo's here. Aldo, thank you so much for being here, man. You're always here. You seem to be the first one on the feed, but today you're the second. So you got to get here a little sooner because I expect to see your name
Uh-oh.
first every time. Let's see. Ada, good morning. Thank you for being here. Ada's a reader as well, so I'm glad that you're here. And Mary, thank you so much for being here as well. And then we've got Maruda. Is there a link to his store, please? Yes. So what I will do is give me 1 second.
The
There's this
store
website.
is
I've got your website
yeah.
scrolling right there. It's
Yeah. Oh,
therookandraven.com.
no. It's actually .co.
Oh, geez. We did go over that, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
There's
All
not
right.
a
Here
whole
we
lot
go.
on. There's not a whole lot on the website though. That is currently geared towards my tarot teaching course, where I teach people how to read within like a few hours. Um, but the Facebook page still has a whole bunch of stuff posted on it. It'll be like in the photos, like the photo albums. So you can probably still scroll through there and see what stuff is still available. I will say that I have like scaled back my crystal operations, I guess, a whole lot since the pandemic hit. It really kind of kicked that in the teeth. Um, so I'll slowly get back to where I was with that though.
Okay, so I corrected it. So it's .co, people. So
Yeah.
yes, Kathleen, she said she's in Glasgow. Amanda, hi, thanks so much for being here. Aldo says they beat me. I need my coffee today. Dude, I will buy you a coffee because you've just been on Soul Treats for quite some time and #1 spot. So connect with me later and I will deliver it to your house, a Starbucks or something like that. All right, let's see here.
Excuse me, my love.
We've got Jessica. Hi, Jessica. Thanks for popping on. And We've got Trish
Connecticut.
from Connecticut. Fantastic.
Where in Connecticut? That's where I was born.
So while she's answering, I just want to let you guys know, pinned at the bottom of the feed is the PayPal link. So we're doing open donation-based readings. And if you can remember, like, you know, the readers that I have on Soul Trades, this is pretty much their full-time job. So, you know, it is an open donation, but please be considerate. I'd really, really appreciate that. I did put a note in the description, like a really good suggestion is 22 and up. So it's really up to you. It's open donation. And what would be great is I'm going to post the StreamYard link into, bear with me for just 1 second. I'm going to post the StreamYard link into the feed. And ideally what would be nice is if you can come on live with Kevin, and you can come on live video, or you can come on live audio. So the way that it works is once you follow the instructions on StreamYard, it puts you backstage, and then I will pop you on when it's time for your reading. So video or audio, it's really up to you. All right. So I'm going to just stop jabbering. And can you see on the screen where it says Trish? Are you able to see it now, the comments? Yeah. On the screen.
Well, okay, no, like underneath your picture, it just shows that it's coming from Facebook, like in her location, or not her location.
Perfect.
I mean, it is her location, but that was her answer, Simsbury, Connecticut.
So then, can you see this new one now?
I can see him.
Yay!
Yeah, in the middle of
Okay, fantastic. So that's what I'll be doing, is popping on the people there who will be getting the reading. So again, people, PayPal link is down below. I highly recommend Kevin. I'm not going to highly recommend the ascension readings that he does, but I love those readings. They're pretty brilliant.
Well, I'm gonna have to explain all of those, like the differences between those. So.
Okay, I'm gonna go because I'm just so flippin' excited that you're here, man. All right, always a good time with Kevin. Here we go.
Always.
I'll see you on the other side, buddy.
Yep. Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin. Kevin Haight. Yes, I get hate mail. Yep, that's a dad joke. Get over it. So I offer 3 different kinds of readings. I'm a little bit different than other readers in that aspect, I believe. So the smallest deck over here on the left, that is my traditional tarot deck, and that is for, I call it your 9-to-5 life. That would basically be like your everyday kind of life. Your, like I said, 9 to 5. That's your physical reality world kind of life. That's not usually going to tap into anything of the ethereal nature, like spiritual stuff, energy stuff. That's not what this deck is for. This one is definitely for just your everyday kind of life. So usually that'll be like one for like relationship readings, hey, am I going to get the job? That kind of shit. That's what that one's for. Now, there's one here in the middle. This is my Psychic Oracle deck. And that one, it does the same as the tarot, but it also taps into like some of the energetic stuff. So this one will tell me which one of your chakras or which ones are fucked. And I can give you some insight on how to fix that. But that one is usually the most popular because it does give insight to both the, as Ruta just said, the 3D life. So your physical and your spiritual sides. Now, this one over here, this is the one that Michelle would always get. And this is the one that kind of trips people out. This one is only a 3-card reading. That's all it ever is. This is my Ascension deck. Now I'm going to flip one card over on each of these, and you'll be able to see the difference. So these have artwork, right? This is just text. This one, the Ascension deck, is going to be strictly for your Ascension journey. So your spiritual awakening. That is going to be, okay, so like your spiritual journey, what would that be? Like that kind of reading is going to be for somebody that is either just starting out on their awakening. So maybe you're being like overwhelmed with like visions, dreams. You're just getting all kinds of information. You're really overwhelmed. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Am I losing my mind? No, you're just kind of starting your journey. And we can do a reading for that and kind of help sort that out to where it's not so overwhelming and get you started on the path. It's also for people that are stuck spiritually, as Michelle admitted that she was. She had done lots and lots of work on herself and had, ascended to a certain point, and then it just plateaued. And no matter what she did, she wasn't feeling like she was growing any, wasn't learning anything, and was just really just stuck. And she got an ascension reading, and we were able to get her kind of over that hump. And then she would get another reading like every so often, be like, hey, am I still like on the right path? So for people that are just starting on their journey, that's a good one. And for people that are stuck spiritually, that's a good one. And also, if you don't feel like you're stuck at all, you just want a little better direction, because maybe you're like doing a little bit of this, you're doing a little bit of that, doing some of this and some of that, and you're not really mastering anything. You're just kind of dipping your toes in all different kinds of things. And you're like, you know what? I'm kind of done sampling everything. I want to really move forward. That would be a deck for you as well. So let us see what we got. Hello. No, Joanne, it's not going to be that you like feel like, oh, hi, welcome back.
Hi. So just going to let you know, I'm going to pop on the screen that Deb Perot, I believe that's how we pronounce it, is going to be your first one. But you'll see it's got the soul treats. And just a reminder, people, the PayPal is down below at the bottom. I'm pretty sure Kevin will let you know about this, so don't keep popping on and off the screen. And so please send in your donations so that we can get a reading for you.
Sure. Okay, so let me know whenever Deb's ready. Well, I guess I'll see her on the camera or whatever.
She is actually in the UK, and she's not available at this moment.
Okay.
So we'll just have to do a reading without her.
All right, cool. I will, you know what? Let's figure out which reading she's supposed to get. All right. Okay, so for anybody that doesn't know what, let me explain this real quick before I do her reading, because whenever I do my readings, I like to educate as well. A lot of people don't know this, but you have like your 7 main chakras, and then you also have your hand chakras, and there's also like 5 lost chakras that we're finally rediscovering. But the hand chakras there's a big debate whether they're a major or they're a minor. For me, they're a major. But your left hand, now this switches based upon which is your dominant. If you're a righty, then, or ambidextrous, if you're a righty or ambidextrous, then your left hand is for like receiving energy and your right hand is for sending energy. So in the case of like Deb not being here, what I'll do is put my hand on each deck to feel the energy of them and see which one gives me the best little, hey, this is the one I want to use. It gives me like a little shock, energetically speaking. And I'm like, okay, that's the deck that wants to do her reading. So the Psychic Oracle one, done jumped up a bit, me, the most. So we're going to do that one. Now, my favorite spread is the Celtic Cross. And without Deb being here, I kind of default to just a general reading for her. Because whatever the universe needs to tell her will make itself known in the cards, obviously. Another thing that people should probably know about me is I always make sure all my cards are upright. I do not read reversals for the specific reason of there's enough damn cards in each deck that any reversal will have like 1 or 2 cards that will give the same message. So that's why I don't bother with reversals. If it's supposed to be the opposite meaning of whatever that card is, then the deck will be like, hey, Kev, use these. So we'll do a general reading for Deb, and hopefully we're good to go. Yeah, Deb, Michelle said she's in the UK, which is 6 hours ahead of me. So she's currently not available, which would make it like almost 8:30 there. All right, let me get these out the way. Woo, bitch, get out the way. I like this already. Also, I'll go ahead and let y'all know that I do a modified Celtic cross. I might as well call it the Kevin cross at this point. If you're familiar with tarot spreads, then you know the Celtic cross is traditionally a 10-card spread. I obviously am pulling a lot more than fucking 10 cards. So let's jump on in. So the main thing that I want to say about Deb right off the bat is that she has a really good energy signature. Very upbeat person, and is very much about not dwelling too much in the past. That's what this whole positive movement forward thing is. Tries not to let too much stuff get you down to where it just kind of fucks up your day. It's more like, okay, well, that happened, and now we're going to go forward. The interesting thing is that the crossing card is the solar plexus chakra card, and that's your energy center. That's one, like, if you find your rib cage, you like come right up to your sternum, pretty much like that little soft spot right there. That's like your solar plexus area, and that chakra is your energy center. And with that being your crossing card, it feels like that one's kind of fucked up to where you are not actually feeling yourself right now. And I'll get to that in just a moment because I want to cover all of this. But recently you had like reason to celebrate, reason to be happy, and that's probably something that's kind of fucking with your head in the aspect that you don't quite understand what it is that's kind of getting you down or messing with you, and that is more or less leading to a conscious thought of like up here has like trapped in fear, and that's your conscious mind. So that's just telling me that there's a lot of doubt in your brain, in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, and that is what is kind of causing this crossing card of the solar plexus chakra being messed up. And with that being your energy center, you just kind of feel off. And then subconsciously you're wondering if it has to do with I'll just use a term that I haven't really used in a while, 3D type issues. So it could be like financial stress, it could be just things in the material world that are kind of bogging you down. But that's your subconscious mind, and that's kind of like playing into the whole doubt in your head. But what you're going to find out is that it's actually something that you haven't dealt with on an emotional level. And that's where, like, here in your immediate future, you have a couple cards that's like, ooh, that's no bueno. With the emotional loss, conflict, and defeat. But what that's telling me is that there is it's either like a fight that you had with somebody that is actually causing like this shift, or it was simply like the loss of a loved one. And it may not even be like they passed away, it's that they're no longer in your life due to whatever reason. And it may be because you guys like butted heads, fought, and it dealt with the fact that you didn't feel like they were actually seeing you as they should. Like they were trying to keep you below them in some aspect, and you're just not here for it. So you weren't getting the proper recognition from that person, which has led to this emotional loss, this conflict and defeat. Um, so you haven't been able to process that properly yet, and I'm going to give you like two different paths. That's why I have like these two over here laid out. Um, so the two paths forward from here. Um, it's really it's really interesting the way that these kind of played out, because so the first option you have is if you really want to like kind of speed things up, what you kind of have to do is tell them fuck off. Really just put it out of your mind. Problem with that is that that's not your style. But I'm going to continue on this little path for you. If you end up doing that, yes, you can compartmentalize that, bad juju and just really start moving forward quickly from it. But it's going to cause a little bit issue with you, like on a soul level, because that's not what you're used to doing. That's not usually your style. And you're going to end up having what would be best described as like a hollow victory. Because here it has like patience and planning and then triumph after doing that little compartmentalizing. And on the surface, it sounds really good because it's like, okay, cool. You were patient. You were able to, plan for this kind of success, and now you've triumphed over it and you're good to go. Like all this is behind you. Issue that I'm feeling from that is because that's not your style, because not what you usually do, it will end up kind of backfiring and fucking you over. The other path that you can take is here you have like the temptation card. And a lot of people misread this one. They kind of see it as being, oh, you're like giving in to like cheating or some kind of shit like that. But what this one actually is, it's more because this person is like the art on this one has what can best be described as like a two-faced person. One is, turning away from this key, and the other one is going towards it. And with this one, it again gives you like two options. But with you, you're going to be the one that actually goes towards the key. It's like you want to solve the problem. You don't want to have things left unsaid, left undone. You don't want to move forward from the situation without any kind of closure on it. So if you actually do what you're used to, and what's interesting about that key that I just saw is that it actually has like a little heart symbol right in here. So it's like the key to the heart. I don't want to say like give in to the temptation, because it's not really temptation. It's more like instead of giving in to the temptation of moving past this quickly to where you feel like you'll do well, but it's still going to come back and bite you in the ass. If you do what you're used to doing and you actually approach this person, approach the situation with an open mind, with an open heart to where you can actually resolve it, then that actually leads to new beginnings for you, which would then lead to fulfillment of wishes. And the sacrifice up here would be that you actually kind of gave up all of this, like gave up the easy path and took the more difficult one. And all the sacrificing that you did along the way ends up being that, a light at the end of the tunnel for you. And that is, akin to your entire path being lit up. Like the new opportunities, the new beginnings, they'll just keep coming to where you actually end up getting your way, and you have really nothing but good things to look forward to if you end up doing, like staying true to yourself and doing it the way that you're used to doing it instead of taking the easy way out. So, all right, that's all I got from this. Hopefully that actually sits well with you. If not, then I'm really horrible at this. I don't need to do it anymore. But all right, now you pick these up. All right. I really wish I could see most of these.
Oh. Yeah, Deb is in the feed actually. She just got home, so there's her little picture that's right there. So Deb, if you can let Kevin know, I know you're going to have to go back to the replay to listen to it. So yours is a very first reading. So Jessica is next, and Jessica, let me know, do you want to go audio or video with Kevin, or are we just going to have you in the comments? And the audio and video is great because you can then interact with Kevin if he has a question, but also too, there's such a delay with Facebook. It can be anywhere from like a minute to a minute and a half. But let me put up Jessica's.
And actually just looking at Deb's picture, I'm like, I know I got the read for like her energy signature, right?
You did. You totally did. When you said it, I'm like, yeah, that's totally Deb. And she's a angelic Reiki master. She's pretty amazing. All right, so let me get Jessica's up here for you. And Jessica, thank you so much for sharing as well. And please let us know if you want to go video or audio. And I'm posting in the link, the StreamYard link. So you just have to click on it and just follow the instructions. It's pretty simple. So we'll wait just a few moments for
it's like a baking recipe. Just follow the instructions. You can't fuck it up.
And then if you don't want to do that, please let Kevin know which type of reading you want, because he's got 3 sets of cards.
Yeah. Have we had like several new people come in? Because I tried to like tune out this and just kind of talk directly to Deb whenever I was do a reading that I'm not.
Yes, we've had a few people. We do have some donations, so we have some people after Jessica as well. So yeah, if you can go over that one more time, Kevin, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I'll do that. I like to do that like in between each one in case we do get new people in. So I have 3 different decks, and I'll do a quick rundown of them again. And okay, so the smallest one over on the left, that's my traditional tarot deck. That is going to be for your physical, material world life. So like your 9-to-5 type stuff, relationships, etc. That's what that one's going to be about. Now, this one is the one that I just did Deb's reading with. This is the Psychic Oracle deck. This one taps into not only your physical life, but your spiritual and energetic as well. So you can get a little more information and clarification from that one. Now, this one is the Ascension deck. That one is completely fucking different from the other 2. And I'll show you one way that it's totally different. There's no artwork. So with that, I don't get to like look at the pictures and get anything. I have to take a moment to like read the card and actually figure out what the fuck it means and applies to. But the Ascension deck is for people that are just beginning their spiritual awakening, their ascension journey. I've actually had a lot of people that got them and they just felt really overwhelmed with their newfound gifts. And that was able to help them kind of like tune out the white noise and really hone in on what it is they really need to do. It's also for people that are stuck spiritually to where maybe you've done all the meditating, you've done all the shit that you're supposed to do and all the things you've been told to do, and you've just completely flatlined or plateaued to where you're not really feeling that you're growing anymore. You're not connecting as well as you used to. And you're just like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? That would be the reading to get to figure out, okay, well, maybe you missed a step and that's why you're not progressing anymore. And it's also for people that just want to kind of check in on their journey, their path to see, okay, am I on the right one? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Because I noticed someone said that that was really, I think it was Joanne, if I remember correctly. I'm not really awesome with names. It's like, yeah, I dip my fingers in all the things, I try all the things, and I never really hone in and master any one of them. This would be a deck to get a reading from because it will give you that direction that you need. It's like, okay, hey, look, cool that you tested all the electives out, but now we need you to pick a major. So that's what that one's for. I took the label off, but I didn't want to give the company that made this water bottle any free plugs or get in trouble.
So I sent Jessica. Jessica, I sent you a message in the feed to let us know if you want to pop on.
Yeah, I saw
video
that.
or audio. I did it with StreamYard, and I went in there and did it on my phone as well. So where are you? If not, we're just going to have Kevin choose via his energy abilities and go from there. So we're just going to give you just a few more seconds, love. And down below, just to let everybody know, is the PayPal link. So it is open donation. And let me just give some shout outs to some people. So Sharon says, hi, I'm new. Thanks for coming to Soul Treats. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being here. There was also a new one here. I'm older than you. Whatever, man.
Okay, wait. Hold on. According to the reading I got from Thomas and who's the other guy? Sorry with the J. Is that right?
John. Yeah.
John. Okay. According to the reading that I got from them, it's like I'm one of the OGs.
Oh, it's so funny.
Like energetically speaking, my soul is like one of the OGs.
Oh, let's see here. I'm still older than you, energetically speaking. Okay. So there's Sharon. There was someone else that was new. Hold on. Okay. Audrey, thank you for being here. Welcome to Soul Treats. Really appreciate it. So for all the people who are new, just to let you know, I do my best to kind of book up the weekends. It's usually Saturday or Sunday at 11 o'clock where I've got some amazing readers and healers. So definitely go to the Soul Treats page. I'll put it down below in the banner so that you can go there and look at the different events that are there. And I hope that you can join us. And there was someone else.
Kathleen says Amanda Glover is new as well. So.
Oh, where's Amanda? Let me find her. Amanda, I'm just scrolling.
I need Amanda.
How are you? There we go.
And
Amanda.
Immediately, The Simpsons comes into my mind with a prank call. Hug and kiss. Amanda, hug and kiss.
Oh, God. Okay, I think I need to pop off. Kathleen, thank you for your messenger question. It's open donation,
Ireland.
So it's really up to you. What I had mentioned, though, is that the readers and healers that I have on Soul Treats, they basically do this full time. So a good suggestion to be, I'm just being transparent here. A good suggestion would be 22 and above, but it is an open donation. So Kathleen, thanks for your messenger message there. And Ada, I see you sent me a voice message. I'll play it in just a moment once I pop off the screen. But I'm not seeing Jessica just yet. But Kevin, give me a second. Let me listen to this message because I think this actually pertains to... Oh, wait. Can't find Soul Treats. Apologies. There you are. So the Soul Treats is, I'm going to post it here, facebook.com/soultreats.ca. So that is the actual Facebook page for Soul Treats where you can see it live, or you can see it live on my profile. So Jessica is here and she's ready.
Well, she's wanting to do like join in via audio.
Yeah, do you want to do audio or video?
Then she would need the StreamYard.
Here's the StreamYard link. I've got it right there. So let me know if you want to go video or audio. And I think that's what Ada's message was. Let me just mute myself real quick.
I need a mute button for some people. Where's that remote control from Adam Sandler's movie? Liverpool, that's where the Beatles are from, right?
Okay, so that's what that message was about, to let us know. So Jessica, did you want to go on video or audio with Kevin? And Amanda, you said, did I miss a reading? Did you donate, Amanda? Let me go to PayPal to see if you donated. Amanda, I don't see your donation. So if you want to get
Well,
that
she may have been
through.
asking. She may have been asking if, like, I did a reading, she missed it somehow.
Oh, I see. But if you do want a reading, Amanda, just go to the PayPal link and I'll see that. And haha, we've got Matthew T. Volk in the house. I'm gonna bow right now. What's up, Matthew? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And so Amanda's okay, hold on. So Jessica, no luck. So Jessica, out of the 3 cards that are there, Kevin can go over it again if you haven't heard him already, because I know you're trying to get into the feed, but let him know which deck you would like the reading from. And same
It looks
thing
like there's like
for...
a 1 to 2 minute delay between the comments from Facebook.
Yeah, it's a little annoying.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, I'm used to doing that with the Facebook lives when I would go do the
Okay.
readings. There's always like a delay.
He said he can choose, so she's open. All right.
I can choose.
Dun dun
Right.
dun.
Dun dun dun.
Dun.
Ooh, okay. Ascension it is. That one was waiting for me. Okay, so I will shuffle these a little bit because I know I showed like the top card, but this reading is going to be done definitely a lot differently than most traditional. So, because the main thing is that I'm going to fan these cards out, and I'm going to go ahead and ask. I know, like, obviously the answer is yes, but I ask anyway. If I have permission to connect with your specific energy, Jessica, because I'm more like a conduit for this, to where it's going to be your energy using me to pick the cards. So, I want to be like one of those Vegas people though, and be like, and they're all like beautifully fanned out. Okay. All right, there's one. You. Great. All right. So this is done in a 3-card spread, and it's generally past, present, future. So, and before I get into too much of this, I have to explain something about this Ascension deck. And this is for anybody that's thinking about getting one of these readings. This deck operates on way more dimensions than just this one. So there are beings and creatures and things in this deck that do not exist the way that we think they do. So there are dragon cards, there's dolphin cards, there's all kinds of different cards in here that if you don't have an open mind, you're gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? So let me explain this. The things that are in this deck, you may not be able to see them in the physical world, but they exist on a different dimension. They vibrate at a totally different frequency than we do, but they do exist. So all the things that we have stories of today, like the dragons of old and unicorns and things like that, that we consider stories, legends, myths, they're not really legends or myths. They exist, just not here with us. They exist on higher planes of existence. So keep that in mind when I'm using these cards. Okay. Okay. Now, with the disclaimer out of the way, okay. So in the past position, you have the gold and silver violet flame. I'll go ahead and read it, and then I'll explain what it is. Okay. So let's see. Okay, I get this one. So the Golden Silver Violet Flame card. All right, let's talk about that one. The energy of this card is all about transmutation, and what transmutation is like whenever a higher being than us, or even crystals do this as well. They absorb negative energies and they transmute them, thus transform them into either neutral or positive energies. Now, the reason this one's coming up in your past position is that the energy of this card, the energy that you are, suggested to invoke from this one is to clear your ascension path ahead of you, because it kind of feels like it's time for you to get on that one. So this one actually deals with Archangel Zadkiel and Saint Germain. They're the keepers of those flames. What's fun about this is that you're not really calling on them to do any work for you. They're more or less giving you permission to use that energy to clear your path ahead so that you don't have any fuck ups, you don't have any like roadblocks or anything really in your way, so that you actually get a clean start. And the way that you're able to do this, you can actually do this in meditation or during sleep. A lot of people don't realize that we do a whole lot of work during our sleep. That's why sometimes you go to sleep for 8 hours, and wake up like you didn't sleep at all, because you did a whole lot of work during your sleep that night. But what you can do to like invoke this energy is in meditation. I don't know if you're able to connect with your guides. Tell me if you can. Okay. I'll wait for you to like respond if you've been able to connect with your guides or not, because it kind of makes a big difference as to how you play out with this card. I think it turned out the fucking light. Like that's like whatever. Sometimes. Okay, you can do it sometimes. All right. So we need to work on it. A good way for you to connect with your guides, and I know this is it took me a while to kind of like get over myself for this one. When I first started out, is like actually say it out loud. If you're not really good at meditating, I'm fucking horrible at it. So my type of meditating is more like zoning out than like the kind of meditating. Do this like before you go to sleep. Say out loud before you go to sleep that you want to connect with your guides. And you should, during sleep, be able to connect with them and go travel in astral planes. But I just want you to do that maybe for about a week. So you have some homework to where every night before you go to bed, or if you're able to meditate, do it before you meditate, that say it out loud that you want to connect with your guide or guides. And as you do it and get into the practice of that, you'll be able to connect more easily. And then you can kind of do this part. So what you end up needing to do is once you are able to connect easily with your guides, you're like, okay, cool. So here's what we need to do. We need to hook up with Saint Germain and Zadkiel about this particular gold and silver violet flame. And they'll take care of the rest at that point, to where they kind of put you in touch with them. And from there, they're like, oh, cool. I've been waiting for you, and give you permission to use that energy to clear out your ascension path. And I mean, that's really all there is to it. That's just like doing the work to get to that first step and clearing the path. So then we can move forward into the present position. Once you are able to clear your path, then you come to the present position. The present position has dolphins, of all things, in your present position. And these are not like, what's the fucking Flipper? This isn't like Flipper or any other dolphins that we know of today. They're maybe more like the ones from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So long and thanks for all the fish. They're the dolphins that we think of today are not what the actual ones from Atlantis are like. The ones from Atlantis were more like guardians or angels for the people of Atlantis, and yeah, they were kind of cool in that aspect. Maybe the ones that we deal with are descendants because humans and dolphins tend to get along. But with this one being in your present position, this is all about tuning into the right frequency. Because now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you tend to be a little bit impatient when it comes to like spiritual work. And when we become impatient in that aspect of our lives, it can actually cause friction to where it is actually harder for us to do the things we need to do, spiritually speaking. So this one is all about connecting with those energetic beings, the dolphins of Atlantis, and by doing so, you can do it sleep or meditation, either one, whichever one works for you. But you can do it either way. And you're going to be able to attune your frequency to a much tighter one. Like right now, yours kind of feels like it's a little chaotic, to where maybe that's why sometimes you connect with them, sometimes you don't. Talk about your guides. So this one, it will teach you how to like really kind of hyper focus your spiritual energy and get yourself hitting the right groove to where you stop having so much pushback on your ascension journey. It'll help you to the way. Okay, sorry, I keep getting like more information. And I'm like trying to keep up, and they keep fucking interrupting me. All right, so let's sort this out. When you tune into the right frequency for you, you'll stop feeling resistance. You'll stop feeling friction, and it will become very natural, very easy flowing, and very relaxing for you. To where, like, one of the reasons a lot of people aren't able to connect with their guides, or not able to connect with anything except every so often, is they don't know how to tune themselves. It's kind of like whenever you're trying to find the radio station you really, really like, and you get close to it and you can kind of hear it, but then you miss it, and then it's just like noise, and then you go back, kind of get it, and then eventually you kind of tune in for a little bit, and then you go under a fucking bridge, and it's like, oh shit, well, fuck it, I lost it. That's what like a lot of people are like when they're trying to tune themselves spiritually. And that's why sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't. Most of the time they don't. When you finally hit that right frequency for you, like I said, it's very relaxing. It's not so chaotic. It's not so jarring. There's no pushback. It's just like you get into it, and it's gonna take you some practice, because I believe, yeah, you have a lot of life chaos, and when we start to try to tune in spiritually, then our physical life, our 3D life, tends to kind of fuck us up to where, okay, well, I can't really focus on this right now. And as you practice doing this, practice getting into that right frequency, getting into that groove to where you're able to relax, it's like you'll feel it from head to toe, in your bones, in your soul. You'll just feel all that stress of the 3D world kind of melt away. And it's like, oh, I can fucking breathe. And that's when you've hit that groove, you've hit that frequency. And as you do that more often, you'll be able to stay in that groove longer and longer and longer, until finally that's your 24/7 frequency. And then like the chaos of life around you, it takes a lot of it to get you off of that track. So you'll be able to handle everyday stress and everyday chaos a lot more easily because you're in that groove and you're like, you know what? I ain't got to fucking worry about it. I can fix this myself over here. And once you get to that level, then you're going to be like, okay, now I know what I've been missing. And that's when you get to this part. And what's interesting is as I'm looking at these cards, I'm like, you're really kind of like at the beginning of your journey. Connecting with nature is different. I mean, it's really awesome that you can connect with nature that way. Some people, they're just like, dude, don't get it. But other people, they're able to connect with the earth and they'll realize, oh, wow, like everything is connected. And it's kind of like in that movie, the Tall Blue People. I'm not going to like give any free plugs, but the Tall Blue People. And they all connect with different living things. And there's like that energy that pulses through the planet. And it's all interwoven and connected. That's how it actually is. We're just so caught up in our 3D shit that we never see all the cool stuff that goes on around us. But once you are able to connect with nature, I mean, it's really eye-opening. So good on you that you can do that. And I would probably stay there 24/7 if I could too. But that's a little different than getting into the groove of your spiritual frequency. It's cool that you can connect with nature, but we're trying to get you attuned to your frequency, the one that you're supposed to be on, so that things are easier for you. The future card is the Veils of Illusion. This one is one that kind of fucks with people, and everybody might want to take a drink after this one. That we... All right. How am I going to explain this to where like everybody gets it? Okay. All right, fuck it. It's time to educate. And we're going to do that and show you how it ties into this. Because this one's actually really, really, really important. All of you need to understand that time doesn't exist. It's a man-made construct, and it's not like the whole Matrix type thing or whatever. It's just that we made it up so we can measure our lives. That's it. You go back a couple thousand years and like, well, they measured things in like moons and sunsets and dawns, and they were like, and measured things in seasons. They were like, oh, well, I have an appointment at 9 a.m. No, they didn't have that. It's like, oh, well, when the sun is like directly above, that's when we'll have lunch. So it's not till much, much later that we started to like kind of constrict ourselves to the construct of time. Now, once you understand that time doesn't exist, and you also understand that there are infinite parallel universes, then you might understand that there are infinite parallel versions of you, so that there aren't actually anything such as past lives. They're all happening simultaneously, and each version of you has a similar frequency to where, so like say between 90.0 and 90.1, like there's a shit ton of minor frequencies within there, and that's like your universal frequency between 90.0 and 90.1. That's you. All versions of you somewhere in there. It might be 90.0000004 or whatever, but that's the easiest way that I can explain it. And with that, taking into consideration there are no such things as past lives, simply parallel lives. It's just that each one of them, that universe is at a different point of its existence or at a different point on its given timeline. So that's why, okay, hey, well, I had a past life reading and I saw me like as like in a newsboy hat in like 1920s era. It's like, okay, well, that version of me was existing at the same time as this one, just in its universe. That's like the era that it was in. Um, so taking that in consideration kind of comes to here where we don't ever actually die. We more or less tune into a different version of us. And the veils of illusion are all about keeping us separated from each version of us. Now, there are 8 total. There's the veil of amnesia, which makes us forget everything from the previous life. And then the 7 veils of illusion, which, more or less prevent us from seeing our true self, if that makes sense. So the veils of illusion being in the future position for you specifically, Jess, is that you're going to be going through the steps of removing them, like having them melt away, lift them, burn them, chop them up. I don't give a fuck what you do. It's like you're going to get rid of those veils of illusion. You get rid of that veils of amnesia to where you are then able to actually tap into each version of you so that you're able to really start to know what it's like to be truly enlightened. So once you peel away the different veils and you can actually look in on other versions of yourself, it helps you like take knowledge from each of them that you can then apply to this version of you to get this version of you to the highest level that it can. And the goal is to reach, full enlightenment to where we kind of go back to source and all the things that we've experienced in all versions of our lives go back to source so that, okay, cool. Now it can learn from us. We learn from it. And then we have the choice of, hey, let's do it again. And that's where there's like a little bit of disconnect for some people. It's like, well, wait, why would I choose to come back? Well, shit, some of us have fun here, some of us don't. So that's what this one's all about. And that's why it's in the future position. Because once you do the work of being able to connect with your guides, where you can then clear your path to where you then are able to tune into the right frequency for you, then you'll be able to start kind of peeling back those veils and seeing behind the curtain. And each one that you pull back, it takes time. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think I'm only like the third one for myself. But it takes time because as you peel back each veil, there's a whole lot of fucking knowledge that you have to absorb and understand and process in order to use it to move on and peel back the next one. So you have some work cut out for you, but that's all part of the journey. So yeah, you're on your way. Well, we're gonna get you on your way. So before I put these away, do you have any questions about any of that?
And then also to Joanne, you are next. I have been posting in the feed asking you if you would like to go video or audio with Kevin, and also which deck you would like, or if you would like for him to pick. So if you can let me know in the feed. And Jessica has yes, but I know there's a bit of a delay with Facebook in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, Jess, it's really, you kind of need to get your ass in gear. That's really what this one's all about. It's like the universe has been waiting for you to like get your shit together and get your ass in gear. So now's the time.
I was wondering if you can go over your decks again while we're waiting for Joanne to reply.
Yeah. I saw some. It says like Tris said just text, have him pick everything.
Yeah, she's after Joanne, and then after that you've got
Okay.
Kathleen Boyle. So
Okay. QQ. All right. So I'll go over the decks again for those that are just tuning in. I have three different readings I offer. This one is traditional tarot. That's like the small deck over here. Um, Now, this one is strictly for your physical life. Some people call it your 3D life. I call it your 9 to 5. This is for your every kind of stuff. So it's like, hey, am I going to get that job? Hey, are they cheating on me? Like that's the deck for that one. Like some people really love getting readings from that one. Um, I try to be like, you know what? That's just like for your regular shit. Let's like see what's going on. Um, Now, this is the Psychic Oracle. This one is able to do the same thing as this one. It taps into your physical life, but it also taps into your spiritual and energetic side as well. So you can get some information about, you know, energy blockages and things of that sort from that one. And then, last but not least, is the reading that I just did for Jessica. This is my Ascension deck. Now, this one is only going to do one kind of reading, and that's all about your ascension journey. So, for people that are just beginning their journey, which Jess would kind of fall under because the cards were all about, like, hey, we're waiting for you to get your shit together and get your ass in gear. Um, but she's been, I want to say she's been woke, if that's a word anymore, for a while. So, she's been aware of things, but hasn't been shown or told like really how to get started, and that's what that reading was all about for her today. Now there are some other ways that you can get readings from that for people that are stuck spiritually, like you've been doing all this work and you've been growing and you've been ascending, and then you hit a glass ceiling or a plateau or whatever, and you don't know how to like get past it. And that deck will be like, hey, you missed this little step back here, so let's go fix that, and you'll be able to move forward. And then, of course, it's for people that just want to check in on their current path and see if they're doing things the way they're supposed to. Because universe will definitely let you know, hey, fuckwad, you kind of missed some shit, and this ain't what you're supposed to be doing. I don't know if any of y'all know this yet, but the universe don't give any fucks. It doesn't. Universe is going to universe. So
alrighty, so we've got Joanne who says she wants deck 3, the same as Jessica.
okay.
Now, Joanne, the StreamYard link, I don't know if you can see it. I did post it just before you did your comment, but I don't know if you can see that. Let me know. I'm trying to think. You are on. Oh, I see. I didn't post to my thing.
I see the StreamYard.
Yeah, I'm going to post it one more time. There we go.
I mean, it shows that Joanne's on Facebook.
And we've got Kathleen, who is in the broadcast down below. You can see her. So Kathleen, we'll get you going just after Joanne. And then, yeah, I see you in the private chat as well. He says, I'm in the right place. Yes, you are. Okay. All right. So
I'm
Joanne
not.
wants a deck
I'm never
3.
in the right place.
Okay.
So, all right. So, Joanne, I guess I'll just go and do the Ascension reading. But as I did with Jessica, I'm going to ask for permission to connect with your energy so that it can pick the right cards for you. I really wish this deck was small enough that I could be cool like the Vegas dealers, but it's not. The fucking cards are massive. All right. What am I hearing? It's the voices in your head. Sorry, I'm just waiting for like a comment from Joanne so I can. Okay, cool. I know there's a delay, so I'm patient. Yep, that was quick. All right, well, apparently that was supposed to be the third card. All right. Let's see what we got. Oh, okay. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. Sorry. Like I said, I have to read the cards to kind of see where we're going with this. So, Dwin, the first card that comes up in your reading in the past position is Lemurian Healing. Now, based upon what I can feel from you, it's that you're already pretty well along your journey. And Lemurian Healing, okay, so the Lemurians were, or are actually, fifth dimensional beings, and they absolutely love this damn planet. That's why there's like Lemurian crystals and the ley lines and stuff like that, and they just really really liked our planet. It's probably actually pissed that we're fucking it up, but the Lemurian healing. This one is strictly about connecting with the energy of the earth and not only receiving energetic healing from it, but returning it as well. Uh, and you can do this in a number of ways. And some people, like Jess said, she's really able to um, connect easily with nature, and that's really great. And that's like part of this. But the thing that I'm really seeing is like using crystals in specific areas, like not specific areas of the world or your corner of the earth, but actually on you. This one is to. Okay, wait. Okay, so I know you have quartz, and I'm seeing like a really nice point. Um, citrine, and it looks like carnelian. It's a really interesting combination. Okay, so you have those three crystals, correct? Like that was a nice quartz point, citrine, and not like the fake fucking citrine, like the baked amethyst, but like actual citrine. Um, the baked amethyst would work, but what I'm seeing like genuine citrine, um, and carnelian, and those three, I'm gonna wait for you to respond because there's a specific reason for those three, and I'm gonna need another bottle of water. But I'm going to tell you why it's in your past position while I wait for your answer. Um, this is in your past position because you've. Um, okay. Those three specific ones. Now, I said those three, and you probably have certain ones in your personal collection. And those are the ones you need to use, not the ones that you use for other people or just for show or for selling. The ones that are specifically yours that you connected with when you touched them. Those are the three that you're going to be doing this with. Um, and the reason the Lemurian healing is in the past is because there's some stuff that those specific ones need to kind of attune for you. So you're going to be using those for about a week, actually 8 days. 8 days, and use each one of them one at a time throughout the day. Now I know that you know how to like connect with Reiki energy, but this is completely different from that. This is strictly because my understanding is like Reiki energy is more like from the heavens, and it goes through you into your client. This is Lemurian energy, not Reiki energy. They're two different things. This is going to be coming from the earth, hence why those 3 specific crystals from your collection are going to be the ones because they're already attuned to you. And what you'll just do is like a quick, not like super long, not like an hour-long meditation or anything, but just a quick little like 5-10 minute meditation session, each one by themselves. You're going to go citrine in the morning, quartz in the afternoon, and carnelian in the evening. And those are going to really kind of dig deep down, probably like to levels that you haven't even, not like downing you at all, but like there are certain levels like some of us just never really get to, no matter how much training we have. But they're going to be like healing some stuff at a very deep energetic level for you. And that's simply to move you towards the present position card. So that's all you need to do with those 3 crystals. And that's the whole reason the Lemurian healing came up. It's like those 3 have Lemurian energy attached to them. That's going to do some deep level healing for you. So that's what that's about. Now, once that healing is done, so in 8 days, like obviously it'll start tomorrow because I don't know, we're already past noon time. So after those 8 days of healing are done, you should actually feel a noticeable difference because the level that they're going to be healing at is one that you don't really notice. And it's like one of those things like you don't know it needs to be fixed until it's fixed, and then everything starts working even better. And you're like, oh, cool. And that's all that is about. That's it. So day 9 from tomorrow. So tomorrow will be day 1. Do that for 8 days. That should get you holy motherfuck balls. Okay. Sorry. I was like, day 9. And there's a 9. I didn't even notice that until I looked down. So on day 9 is when the Cosmic Heart, the present position card in your reading, comes into play. This one is all about tuning in and opening up to the love and energy of the 9th dimension, which is kind of up there. As far as I know, there's only like 12. But this one, you'll go into meditation on that day. And it will probably take you to places you've never seen before, like in the astral planes. Make you feel things you've never felt before. And that's 100% just, open yourself up to it, accept it, let it flow through you, in you, around you. And it's all about absorbing that energy. And it's picking you specifically because of what you do for a living with the Reiki healing. You'll be able to tap into that energy and you'll be able to absorb it and then pass it on to others. Now, it may not always be like clients or whatever, It may just be people in your life. But you're going to carry that healing energy and that loving energy with you from now on. Like from that day forward, you'll have access to it to where you can use it to really do some good work um, for others. And that's part of your ascension journey is actually healing others and helping them along their journey as well. And that's where you're going to come into the future position. So the future position has Lord Kumika in it. And I really, really like this one because this is really kind of getting to a place where the universe is really supporting what you're doing. Like like I said, I already know that you're pretty well advanced along your journey. And we're just really kind of pushing you next level at this point. So once you've done the 8 days of healing, you'll come to day 9, open up yourself in meditation to the cosmic heart and get that, ninth dimensional energy that you can then use to help others. But Lord Kamika in your future position it's about purification, it's about communication, it's about enlightenment, and it's about teaching others by way of example, to love unconditionally, to accept everyone as they are. If they seek your help, then you give it. And that's really all this one is about, is like, as you continue to use that ninth dimensional energy to help others, to heal others, and you're doing that unconditional loving and you're doing that acceptance of people as they are, that's where Lord Kamika really kind of dwells. He's all about making sure everyone is taken care of. And as you're doing that, you'll gain even more support from him and others to continue doing the work that you do, and to help others along their ascension journey, help others along their path to enlightenment. And as you do that, you'll, like, once you get to this point, it's like you really don't even need me or people like me anymore to, like, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. It's like, no, you're going to know. It's like every time you sit down to meditate, it's like, hey, you're going to go someplace new. You're going to learn something new that you can then take back with you and use it to help others again. And that's what it's all about for you at this point, is gaining all this information, gaining all this energy to disperse it to those that are really in need of it. And that's where you're going to end up. And as far as I can see, for this version of your life, that's kind of like the end game for you for this version. The next one be a little bit different, but for this one, that's where you're supposed to be. The people that are usually the most advanced are the ones that have no fucking idea where they actually are on their path, because they've just done the things that felt right for them. And that's just kind of like your subconscious intuition, like listening to your guides, listening to the universe, like, hey, this is what you should be doing. And then you're like, all right, cool, I'll do that. And because that's what you're supposed to be doing, you're, unwittingly advancing along your journey. Oh, look, we got a spammer.
Not for long. Whoa. I think I just blocked them. Block user. Let's see. There, they're blocked, and now I'll delete it. Delete the comment. There we go.
So, yeah, there you go, Joanne. And honestly, like, that reading was more just like, hey, you're been on the right path. Now we're just going to kind of give you even more tools to do it even better. Yeah, that's me. I ain't got a clue what the fuck is going on, but feels right.
Alrighty, so I'm just going to bring Kathleen on the feed. And then for everyone else, I'm going to put the StreamYard link if you'd like to go audio or video with Kevin. He does have 3 decks, so he's going to go over. Joanne says, I loved that reading so much. All right.
No, that Wahid person is still able to comment.
I blocked him. Stop it.
More than one account.
See, this is what happens. All right. Let me just.
Well, no, like those
here.
people gravitate.
Block.
Like those people gravitate to like these types of things because we're doing actual stuff and they're just faking it.
Okay, so I blocked it. Hopefully that'll work. Okay, so I'm going to bring Kathleen on the screen with you. And for the rest of the folks, again, if you want to do video, audio, let me know. I'll post the StreamYard link right now for you. If you don't, let us know what deck you like to go with, Kevin. And here we go. Let's get Kathleen on here for you.
Oh, wait. I can't hear her.
Hello.
I have to... Oh, okay. There we go. Now we can hear you. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I love your accent. I'm just gonna let you talk.
Okay, it's really nice to meet you.
Yeah. All right. So, Kathleen, what kind of reading are you wanting to get today?
May I have the middle deck?
This one? Okay.
But if you feel that's wrong, let me know.
Oh, if that's the one that you were drawn to, sweetheart, then that's the one that you get.
Okay.
So, now, my follow-up question is going to be, what kind of reading are we going to do today? Are we doing just like a general one? See what the universe has for you?
Yeah, see what the universe has. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, assistant. My brother-in-law Jeff just brought me another bottle of water.
Oh, lovely.
I guess like a few minutes ago, it's like, I need to get another water. He sent me a message. Do you need water? Yes, I do. Thank you. It's a little late there, isn't it? It's about like 9:30 where you're at?
No, it's actually 8:30.
Oh, okay. 5 hours ahead, not 6.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Oh, do you guys do the daylight savings time shit?
Sorry?
Okay. Here we have like daylight savings time, which is fucking horrible. Like in October, November, we set our clocks back an hour. And then
yeah, we do that. As well. I
hate that so much because like come December, it's like, oh hey, sunset's at 5 o'clock. I'm like, what the fuck?
No, I think it's October and I can't remember the other one.
It's usually like March. It's usually like March or April when we push it forward. This little saying here is like spring forward because you set your
back.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
I like that it's a global thing. All right. Okay, so let's see what we have for you, dear. Okay, tell me about what's going on though. Because that first card that I see, I don't like it. So I need you to like, what made you want to get a reading today? And I know it's not my charming personality.
Well, I never met you yet, so now I know you are charming. No, I just felt if I want to know about my spiritual journey and
well,
try to move house or wanting to move house. But
well, the reason I ask is the card that comes up, like this one right here, that's supposed to represent you, is conflict and defeat. And the reason I don't like that card for you is because what I'm feeling from you is that your soul is tired. Like on like it's not even like just in your bones. It's like you are just exhausted from this existence. Um, but what I do like here, your crossing card is fertility. Now, that's not like you're gonna get knocked up. No,
That's good.
fertility is it's um, fertility is just like things are in a place where you are able to succeed if you do things the right way. Um, and what see here is that you probably recently went through some kind of change. It may not have been like a physical change, may have been like just the way you see things or the way you react to things, like some kind of transformation towards like you. It was just something that was definitely noticeable for you. Others may not have noticed it. It may have just been like, you know what? I'm done giving so much weight to other people's opinions. It's like, you're like, it's more like it's my time. And you're done living your life the way that others want you to.
Spot on.
So the issue from that is that while you made that transformation, you ended up with a little bit of emotional withdrawal to where you kind of pulled away from people because when you make that choice for yourself, when you make that choice, it's like, you know what, fuck you. This is my life, not yours. You end up having to come across as abrasive to people. And if that's not the way that you've always been, it's like if you've always been very kind of shy and withdrawn to where it's like you just kind of let people walk all over you and you finally stand up for yourself, people are like, ooh, I don't like you. And because of the way those people receive the new version of you, it makes you pull back. And it's like a conscious pullback because you're like, okay, well, that's somebody that I don't need in my life. If you're not going to be okay with this version of me now, then you're really not going to like me further down the road because you're going to do things for yourself. And the subconscious card here is your crown chakra. Now, your crown chakra, that's all about your clarity of mind. And being in the subconscious, what that's saying is that you probably have a little bit of doubt about this new path that you're going down. You're not entirely invested in it. It feels the right one for you, but there's still that little bit of seed, that little bit of doubt in your mind where it's like, not really sure. But I want to go ahead and say, yes, stand this card here, stand your ground. It's like stand up for yourself. This is the path that you need to be on. Because the cards that come out with that are Love Begins and the Universe. Now, love begins for you by standing up for yourself. That's where you really start to learn your strengths. You really kind of start to relearn who you are as a person. And this version of you, you are actually going to know how to love yourself the way that you should have been doing all along. And that's where the love begins. It's like self-love that begins for you because a lot of people don't want to be like, oh, well, I'm really proud of myself because they feel like that's kind of egotistical. And it's like, oh, no, I want to keep my ego in check. It's like, no, like you've been keeping your ego in check for way too long. It's like now, yes, be proud of who you are. Be proud of yourself for doing this and be proud of learning how to love yourself at this point. And the universe card comes out because that one is just saying, yes, the universe is completely okay with you doing this, and that's the path that you should be on. So that brings us over here. Now, I know you can't see all the cards because they're fucking massive, and I apologize for that. But this is like, sometimes it's two paths, and it's like, okay, well, you take the left fork, this is how it goes. Take the right fork, this is how it goes. But for you in this reading, these go together. Like this is like different stages along your journey and how this is all going to play out.
Uh-huh.
So the thing here with the deception and envy, that's these two cards here. These are the two bottom cards: deception and envy on the left, authority on the right. When I usually see like the deception and envy card come out, that's usually that people are going to be lying to you. They're going to try to deceive you. They're going to be wearing fake masks. They're, just put on a facade. And that's to try and take away that newfound strength, the newfound authority that you have over your life. Yeah. They don't want to see you with that kind of strength. They want to keep you where you are. And that's not what the universe has in store for you. Now, by maintaining that you stand your ground and you continue on this path, you'll be able to be like, you know what? I'm not worried about y'all. It's like, I'm happy with the choices that I've made. I'm not going to listen to your lies and go back into my old ways because that old me's gone. New me is here to stay. The next two cards are mental conflict and the waiting game. Now, this is kind of tying back into like this crown chakra card where there's like that little bit of doubt in your mind. Uh-huh. And that's where like the mental conflict comes in. It's like every so often you'll catch yourself, it's like not really feeling it. You're not really like, maybe this is the wrong thing. But the universe is like, no, you have to have patience. You have to, patience is right there. The waiting game in this aspect is the artwork on this card has a tree inside of an hourglass. And that's just simply to denote that for anything to grow strong and to flourish, it takes time. In order to put down those strong roots, it takes some time. So yes, you'll have like a little bit of doubt along the way, but continue to remind yourself that this is the path for you. And as you go along your journey, like that mental conflict will kind of fade away.
Yeah.
And you won't have to worry about that so much anymore because you'll have that confidence. You'll have that strength to be like, stand up tall and be like, nope, this is me. And up here, you have triumphant success and patience. Those two go hand in hand, do they not? Because if you're patient and you wait for that seed to continue growing and become, a strong tree, then you have a triumphant success over your life. And, this 100%, this is all about that decision you made to be a new version of you.
Yeah.
And this is the universe just saying, yes, 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 yes. Finally, you're on the right path.
Yeah.
And so with the little bits of doubt that come in, it's fine. You'll get through that because up here with the two cards here, these are the final outcome cards, which are intuition and spiritual union. Now,
fantastic.
Those two together tell me that the new version of you is going to finally feel like you're home on a spiritual level. Okay. Because that's like all this has been about is just like to let you know, yes, you're on the right path. You've made the right decision. Stay the course, stay strong. And the physical version of you and the spiritual version of you are going to mesh into one and just continue doing what you're doing. Like stay the course. I want to pull one more card. All right. So this card is foundation and achievements. And this would be like out here past all of this. If you see here, it has, a family standing in front of a home, rainbow over it. It's like, okay, cool. That's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah.
To where all this stuff that you're going through mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all of it. Stay the course, because there's growing pains in anything, and all things worth anything take time
Yeah.
and takes patience and it takes hard work. And you've already made the choice. You've taken that first step to become the new version of you. And this is just going to be like, yes, in due time, you're going to reach that point that you're completely content with your life and everything is fine.
That would be amazing.
Well, like I said, it just takes some time. Do you have any questions about any of that?
No,
No?
absolutely crystal clear
Okay.
about the cards.
Okay. All right. So, Kathleen, are you good, honey?
I'm good. Thank you
All right.
so much, Kevin.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks for trusting me to, read your cards for you and
No,
give you some
thank you.
affirmations.
No, thank you, and thank Michelle.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. And blessings to you. And I can't wait to see how you end up.
Oh, I'm sure you'll hear. Okay, thank you.
I look forward to it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, hon.
Alrighty. So next we have Patricia. And Patricia
Trish.
said that she yes, Trish. Let me go and find her. There we go. So she just wanted to have you pick.
Everybody's like, you pick, Kevin.
You pick, Kevin. Okay. So there you go.
Cool.
And just want to let everybody know that the reading list has met capacity, so it's now closed. So Karen, I did get your donation. Thank you so much. And there you go. You're all set.
Wait, am I seeing that right? Okay. So I gotta mix the cards back in. And before anybody says anything, because I know you guys have, I use that term for everybody. Everybody's a dude. But I'm sure like y'all have seen other readers that cleanse their decks in between each reading. And that's fine. Everybody does it their way. I do it my way because they're my decks, so they're more or less like an extension of me, and I'm pretty good. I'm pretty clean. I wash my hands. So if you've been wondering about that, it's more a personal thing, not anything that's a slight against anybody else, because I said everybody has their personal preferences. All right. Now that is shuffled, and it shuffled you. All right. So this one is for Trish. All right. Almost fucked that up. Almost. I caught myself though. So for Trish. Okay. Nope. Not even getting anything from that one. Why are y'all fighting? Hang on. Interesting. Sorry, those two were like actually fighting. Not like knock them down, drag them out fighting, but they're both like giving me like the same kind of like buzz. They're like, no, me, no, me, no, me. But the Ascension one won out in the end. All right, let's see. Is Trish, are you actually here in the feed? Let me see. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure, because with this one I have to get permission to connect with your specific energy. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I don't know why. I am excited. All right. Fuck, that is picking up. Is that a clip? Can I do that? No. I don't know what that is. It pissed me off. All right. Sorry. I'm arguing with my headset. One. No. All right. So we're gonna do an ascension reading for Trish. Why so serious? Sorry, that laugh, that little giggle or whatever. I always laugh whenever Hilarion comes on. I told him he needs to change his name, but he's like, no. So, ooh, footballs. Okay, so let's go ahead and just jump right into this. Why is this one here in the past position? Oh, you're gonna do some learning. All right, so Sirius. This is actually like a star. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Now, the Sirius card coming up in your past position is because you is going to school. What I mean by that is this card is about learning in your sleep, of all places. So, Sirius has like the 12 keys of the 12 universal keys of enlightenment and ascension. So, kind of makes sense that this one is in more or less like the beginning part of your journey. Because for this one, you're going to end up having to connect with your guides. Can you connect with your guides? I'll wait for that response because it kind of depends upon how this goes, whether you do it in sleep or whether you do it during meditation. Sleep is preferred because there's a lot. But if you're able to do the cool meditations, then you do it during meditation as well. Okay, awesome. Okay, so you can actually choose whether to do this in your sleep or if you do meditation. Because this one is all about having your guides take you to the training schools and universities of Sirius. Now, I know that sounds weird, but it does suggest doing it in sleep because, like I said, it is a lot. But if you're able to do like long meditations, then I don't see why it would be a problem. But what you learn at those schools is really what you're going to need to move forward on your ascension journey. So this is something you probably should have already done, which is why it is in the past position. But beyond all of that, whenever you go to sleep, the way that you're going to do this is, connect with your guides. Like, hey, tonight, take me to Sirius. And once you're there, each time you visit, you're going to learn something new. And that's why they suggest doing it during sleep, because it's not like you can do like a whole year of training in one night. But each time you visit Sirius, you'll learn something new. You'll learn about spiritual alchemy. You'll learn about sacred geometry. You can learn about the higher dimensions and how to transport yourself to them. And there's actually a whole lot of stuff that is taught at those universities of Sirius. And they're only available like in the astral planes, hence why you usually do it during sleep. But the knowledge that you gain from doing that, and I want to say you're gonna be doing this for at least a month. Like bare minimum is a month, and that's if you go like 3 to 5 times a week. If it gets too much for you, you're obviously free to take a break and kind of process everything. But the knowledge that you gain from those visits, it's like priceless, really. It's not anything I can teach you. It's not anything anyone on this planet can teach you. Because it's like more or less like sacred knowledge. So connect with your guides, tell them to take you there, and if you have to write notes down for yourself, that's fine. Like whenever you wake up, what I would do is have like pen and paper, or have like the voice recorder app on your phone ready to go, to where whatever you're able to recall, you can go and just like kind of record it. And what you remember, you'll be able to like listen to it, take notes from that as well. But the knowledge that you end up gaining from those visits, it's more like innate knowledge, to where when it's time to use it, you'll have it. I mean, it's kind of like, learning how to do calculus. You don't really remember the moment it clicked for you, but it does. So now you know how to do it. So that's kind of what that's all about. So yes, you're going to school for a while to learn some shit. And once you're done, they'll let you know. It's like, hey, you've learned all that you need to know for this portion of your journey. And then you'll be able to move forward to the present position card, which is Hilarion. It's hilarious. He gets mad whenever I make fun of him, but whatever. I told him to change his name. So, Hilarion, this one is really fun. I've always liked going to this one because all right, let me see how I do this one. Hilarion more or less helps keep people on their journey, helps keep them from falling off the wagon. But he does that by way of taking what you learned here and expanding on it. Like here, you can kind of like learn the basics of stuff. That's really what you're going to be doing during your trips to Sirius, is that you'll be learning the basics of certain things that will help get you to here. And then Hilarion will take over and be like, hey, now we're going to get you kind of like to level up on some of that knowledge, because he's like the owner, the master, whatever, the fifth ray of technology, science, truth, and knowledge. And what he does is he knows what you learned here. And then whenever you go to visit him, or you just open yourself up to his wisdom and like connect with his energy, he just kind of like sprinkles in some seeds of knowledge to take root in your brain. And it's just stuff that will expand on the learning that you did here. What he really likes to do is get you access, like teach you how to access the higher channels of communication. These are like where like clairvoyance kind of dwell. So clairvoyance, clairaudience, that kind of stuff, clairsentient. This will be a step where you really start to develop your clair senses, which will obviously then help along your journey. But this stage, it's again more learning and more trial by fire, I want to say, in that he's going to give you like the little bit of knowledge, expand on it a little bit, and then kind of set you out. Oh shit, set you out into the world, and be like, hey, use this new knowledge, figure out how to use it. That's like the trial by fire that I was talking about. But he's never going to like burden you with too much or not give you enough information to be confident in what you're doing. His trial by fire is more give you the tools and then you have to go out and master it. So he'll help unlock your Claire abilities. You may even already have like a couple kind of low key activated, but he's going to give you access to like all of them. I don't really care for the Claire. I don't know what it is. There's one where you can smell things. That's kind of weird to me. But it's another Claire sense. There's also one where you can taste things, which is also weird to me. But it's not one that I use, so I don't really give a shit. My main thing is like clear sentience. It's like I just know shit. So that's what that one's about. This one is about learning the basics. This one is about leveling up your Claire abilities, which then brings you to Lord Maitreya in the future position. Now, this one is like this is where you stop for a moment and take stock. Where you take stock of all the things you know, all the things you've done, and decide if you've actually done things correctly. If you haven't, then you have a chance to not so much like go back and correct course, but you'll know for future incidents that okay, the path that you took before is the wrong one, and the one that you didn't take is the right one. Because Lord Maitreya, it's really about integrity. It's integrity, no diggity. Integrity and intention. So I don't want to down him at all, but he's kind of a dick because he's really like a perfectionist. He has extremely high standards, which is probably why I don't like him. But I mean, we respect each other, but I don't really like him. But his thing is like he wants you specifically to be a living example of right way to be, the right way of living. Because by being that example, and that's what all this learning over here is about. It's like learning specific things so that you become an example that others can then follow. It's like they're not going to be like your followers. You'll just be like, hey, do things the right way and you can achieve this. And that's your purpose, is to be that example for others. And that's where like these two kind of come together in that like, he helps keep Hilarion helps keep people on track, and Lord Maitreya like holds up the people that are the examples, and that's how those two kind of work together. But once you achieve that level, once you achieve that, hey, I'm an example of how people should achieve things along their journey, the reward that you get from that, it's something none of us can give you. It's an inner peace. It's an inner understanding of the ways of the universe. And you have, how do I put it? You'll have a much smoother path than others will by doing things this way. I mean, it's still a choice for you, obviously. It's like you don't have to do it this way, but it is up to you. And if you choose this path, if you choose this path of ascension by going to Sirius and learning, connecting with Hilarion and perfecting, and then being that example for others to follow with Lord Maitreya, then the reward for you, it's a much easier path through life. So there you go. I don't know if you're even still here. I try not to pay attention to the chat, but I'll go ahead and ask if you have any questions about how to achieve any of this. I will go ahead and just like you may not be able to read those, but a serious affirmation is just saying that I am open to the higher wisdom of Sirius. So that's an affirmation you can use for that one. And then for Hilarion, I open myself to the wisdom and guidance of Hilarion. And then last but not least for Lord Maitreya, I connect with, I am not saying that because that sounds horrible. I'm going to change that affirmation. Am I okay to use that one? Okay. Sorry, I had to get permission. I'm going to change this affirmation because if I actually say it out loud, it just sounds horrible. But the affirmation that you can use for Lord Maitreya is I connect with the Lord Maitreya and radiate pure white light today. When do you go out into the world again? That actually seems okay. Are you talking about the physical world or the spiritual world? Actually, let me grab.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey.
So I don't know about your timeline, but we've got 3 more people, and I had 2 more people asking about donations. So I don't know if you wanted me to add 2 more people because I had closed the reading list. Because I know you're a busy man.
Yeah. I think we're going to keep it closed.
Okay.
But I do want to answer Trish's question about the physical world real quick.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. That's why. Okay. Let me ask you this, Trish. What is keeping you from rejoining the physical world? Okay. Well, without getting any details, I will have to say that the timeline for you rejoining the physical world, I'm going to give it like another couple of months, 3 at the most. Because, like I said, without getting into it too much, because I know like it might be personal stuff that you don't want to air out. I completely understand that. But the keys to it are going to be regaining like your strength, and more or less like kind of it's going to be regaining your strength, taking control of your life and leaning on those close to you. Like that's where like the partnerships and alliances kind of comes in. Um, but leaning on those close to you for support. Because it kind of feels like I said, I'm not going to air out too much. But it's definitely more or less up to you at this point. How fast it happens. But I do feel like it's going to be a little bit longer, like a couple more months before you fully rejoin everyone. But I mean, at least kind of gives you like a goal. I'm going to say like end of spring would be a good timeline for you if that works for you, which I think it does. I'm just going to make sure that you're okay with that. There's like a little bit of changing that's going to have to happen for it to kind of work out for you, but it should be fine. Okay. But yeah, like I said, aim for end of spring. I'm not going to give out any details, obviously, but there are some things that you need to do. It's things that you have control over in order to make the changes needed to have that happen on time. Okay. And if you ever feel like maybe you don't have the strength to do it, it is completely okay to reach out to those around you for a little bit of support. All right, so I'm going to pick these up. All right. All right, so looks like Gail is next.
Yes, Gail, you are next. Let us know if you want to go video, audio with Kevin. And if not, let Kevin know which deck you want, the 1, 2, or 3. And I know you came in later in the feed, so he can explain to you which each one is. And I'm going to post the StreamYard link right now. There it is. Okay. Here's Gail.
Shuffling this one. And I'll explain. So, Gail, I have 3 different decks, and they each do specific things. So, this one on the far left, this is my traditional tarot deck. This one is used for like your physical life, so like your 9 to 5, everyday kind of stuff. That's what that one's going to tap into and give insight on. Now, this middle one, this is my psychic oracle deck. This one can do the same as the tarot, so it taps into your physical life, but it also has the ability to give some insight to your spiritual and energetic sides. So it can do a little bit more. Now, this one is totally different from those two. That's an ascension deck. That one is all about your ascension journey. So if you are just starting your journey and kind of need some direction as to like where to go from here, that's the deck to use. If you are already, well into your journey, but you've hit like a wall and just kind of feel stuck, that can give you some insight on how to work around that. And if you just happen to be, a spiritually awoken person and want to check in on your progress, that's the deck as well. So you let me know which one to use. Okay. Número dos. All right. Okay. Follow up question while I'm shuffling. I'll give you time to answer. Is what kind of reading are we going to do today? Are we doing a general reading to see what the universe has in store for you, or what the universe wants to tell you, or do you have a specific area of your life that you want to look in on? General. Okay. Next time I'm doing this with music, man. This whole silence thing is killing my soul. Damn. All right. I hear you. Okay. So, before I dive into this, I usually like to ask why you wanted to get a reading today. And the reason I ask that is yes, I can read the cards, but there's a whole bunch of different ways to read it. Oh, I'm not going to give you any free plugs either, you bastards. Why didn't y'all tell me I had my label on? What happens when you cut your fucking nails? Okay. Well, that explains it. Sorry, that's all I need to know. All right, fine. Fuck you, label. So, this card here represents you, and that's the universe, meaning that you're already pretty well connected, but there's a couple of things that we need to touch on first. One is this: the crossing card is your base chakra. So, even though you're pretty decently connected with the universe, you're not very well grounded. Um, and don't take offense to that. Like, I have a horrible time with grounding, which is why I usually like wear something to try and help me with that. Uh, so to go ahead and address that first, grounding, it's actually really easy. It's a lot easier than other people make it out to be. Uh, one of the easiest ways to do it is do earthing. And what that is just like walking around outside barefoot. Simple enough, right? The more time you're able to walk around outside, like without shoes on, if you can, of course. Like I'm not going to tell you to do that in New York City or some shit. But the more you're able to do that, the more the earth is able to take any kind of chaotic energies from you and it pulls it out of you and transmutes it with the earth and turns it into like positive energy. And if you're not keen on like walking around, actually just spending some time outside, uh, sit where the sun is on your face and just take it all in. Close your eyes and take it all in. It's a really easy way to kind of center yourself, get grounded. Um, oh no offense. Um, but that's like the easiest way to do it. And if you can't do that, like if you happen to be somewhere that's not an option, like getting outdoors too much isn't like easy, then if you have some stones around, uh, red jasper is a good one. Hematite is a really good one. Um, like most of the jaspers are pretty good at grounding, but red jasper, mukaite, polychrome, those are really good. Um, but hematite is usually pretty easy to get, and even if you get like just a little bracelet to wear, or put like a little piece of hematite in your pocket or whatever, um, that will help kind of keep you. Because what I see when I like tap into your energy is like it's definitely up there, but you're just like it's just so. I'm not going to say chaotic because it's not chaotic. It's just like so high up there that it has trouble kind of coming back down. And so it's always just like ding, 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 ding. And maybe that's why you're here today. But your intuition level is pretty solid. And I want to say that it kind of leveled up recently, like as recently as last month, to where you more or less just kind of started knowing things without even really having to dig into it. Um, and that's just kind of like your intuition more or less leveling up. Now, moving forward from here, it's like you have hope in your conscious mind, and that's less hope in this situation and more just like being able to connect with a lot of different things, not just like people and nature, but um, connect with anything really. Like you're able to connect pretty easily, and because of that, you definitely have like a strong sense of hope as to what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Because I know you want to know where you're kind of at, spiritually speaking. Now, your subconscious mind has deception and envy, and because it's subconscious, it's more like a subconscious fear. And I'm not saying like, hey, that's like something that's gonna like take over your life or whatever, but it's just more like a caution because we all know people are liars. They'll lie more easily than they'll tell the truth. And that's where like this kind of level up on your intuition comes in to where you can see through this shit more easily. So like whenever you meet somebody, you will more easily be able to tell if it's someone that you can actually trust or someone that you can confide in, someone that you can connect with in a healthy way. You'll be able to use that new level of intuition to more or less sort out the bad nuts. And then going forward here into like the immediate future, you have sacrifice, patience, power, and the waiting game. Now, people tend to have like a bad connotation when it comes to sacrifice, but I mean that card doesn't say to me, "Hey, bad shit." This one is more about giving up the old you, like sacrificing the old you, sacrificing your old ways in order to make way for new ones. And in doing that, you'll have to learn a little bit of patience as far as like your spiritual ascension goes, because the universe doesn't want to overwhelm you at this point, so that in being patient, you'll gain, more knowledge, wisdom, power, and the waiting game. This isn't about, oh, hey, just sit and wait. This is more about the patience here and letting things grow the way that they're supposed to. If you try to hurry things up, then things go off kilter, things get fucked up to where they don't go according to plan. They don't go as well as you had hoped they would. Yeah. But we're going to get to that part. That I already know about that. That's over here. So just be prepared to sacrifice your old ways of thinking, your old ways of being, and be patient in gaining and growing. That's what this is all about. Now, this one, again, like for Kathleen, I believe it was, sometimes these two paths are separate, sometimes they're combined. It all depends upon how all the shit goes. For you, this is combined. So each pair of cards is a step along the journey to get to here, which is like your final transformation. Now here, you have positive movement forward, material and spiritual prosperity. What that means is that by doing the waiting, being patient, and all the stuff that you did over here, it allows you, it cuts free that, I'm not going to call it dead weight. I'm going to just call it like, it cuts away the old to make way for the new. And that's why you're then able to progress along your journey by getting rid of all those old ways of being, old ways of thinking. And there is a little bit of warning in that you are going to feel very alone at times along this journey because it is your journey. It's not everyone around you, it's yours. So there will come times whenever you feel very solitary and very much alone. But in those moments, that's when you can actually grow the most. That's what the triumphant success is about. That's like coming out the fucking ground. But in those moments of solitary and feeling alone, it's like that's when you need to focus. That's when you need to kind of like draw on your inner strength the most and realize that this is just part of the journey. And you focus on the things that you've done up to that point. Because as you focus on your past accomplishments along this journey, the things that you've learned, the people that you've helped, then that's where like you get that feeling of, oh, okay, well, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm the one forging this path. I'm the one along this journey. I'm the one that's done those things. So I can take, solace in that. And it's okay that I feel alone right now because I did those things on my own. I'm the one that should take credit for it. What that ends up doing, it then starts building a firm foundation for you. It ends up building something for you to continue to build up from. And you do that by staying true to your path, staying true to yourself. Do not fall into these ways of thinking with deception and lying and trying to deceive people. Stay true to yourself, stay true to the path. And as long as you continue to do those things, then you'll gain wisdom, you'll gain knowledge, you'll gain power along the way. You'll gain new abilities. And that will end up being your final transformation. And the sacral chakra is up here because that is your creation center. That is your chakra that is responsible for creating creative energies, ideas. That's where those come from. And being that it's here with the transformation card, it's like you're going to be doing all of this work, all of this learning, all of this journey is going to be creating a new form of you. And that's what that's all about. So you did something back here that kind of kickstarted all of this. And okay. Pulled another card. It's another chakra card. But this one is your third eye. Third eye is all about intuition. So this really kind of comes full circle to where it started with leveling up your intuition, comes all the way back through this transformation, all this learning, all this growing, all this ascending, back to your third eye chakra, which is saying, yeah, you're on the right path. It's like, trust the intuition that you've had, because you came here today because you want to be of service, but you're not really sure how. And that leveling up of your intuition is what, like I said, kickstarted all of this, to where you go through all of this growing and all of this changing, and just trust in yourself and you'll get there. Now, if you're waiting to hear from your guides, this is part of it. Like, part of it is learning how to connect with them and how to communicate with them, you know, pretty easily. It's almost like having someone next to you telling you things and you can converse back and forth. It's like, I wouldn't hear your guides, but you would, so you can have that conversation with them. So I would kind of probably look crazy sometimes, but it is what it is. But end all be all is that you've started this journey and now you have to see it through. So now I do want to touch on one thing. You said that you're having a lot of different entities try and connect with you. The reason for that is whenever you level up any of your abilities, it's kind of like a fucking beacon, to where all these things are, oh, hey, this one leveled up. Now we can like go fuck with this one. And it's really easy to kind of tune them out and block them. The way that I usually do it is I have like a permanent, I'm a little bit different in that I'm a natural shield. So it's very difficult for anyone or anything to connect with me unless I take that shield down and give them access. So I don't usually have to worry about this too much. But there have been times that, you know, I don't know, shit was off to where I felt like those attacks coming and things coming at me. An easy way to protect yourself is, even without crystals or anything else, it's tap into your inner self. Okay? Like, just close your eyes and go into your mind's eye. And from there, what you can do is create a bubble around yourself. And you can imagine it however you want, but by simply using your inner self to create that, it then protects you as long as you kind of keep that around. You know, until you get like in the habit of knowing that it's there, you can kind of refresh yourself every so often. I had to do that for our house before, by like creating a barrier around it. And if you don't feel confident in doing that, then there are protection crystals, black tourmaline, obviously, smoky quartz. I suggest black kyanite. That is one that cleanses and protects. So if you have some black kyanite, that'll be good. If not, smoky quartz is pretty strong in and of itself. Obsidian, I do not recommend. Obsidian is not one that should be worn all the time. It's great to have like not on your person. Like if you have like a little obsidian sphere or something, that's fine. But wearing obsidian is not recommended. Um, ebony, like a lot of like the darker stuff, those are really protective. Amethyst is one. Amethyst is kind of like a master crystal, so it kind of does whatever the fuck it wants. You just tell it what you need, and it makes it happen. Yeah, Gail, for that, you're going to need to do a cleansing. I recommend a 3-step cleansing. So it kind of feels like there's a portal somewhere in your living quarters. There's really not a whole hell of a lot you can do until you're able to get into astral and close it. But for the time being, what you can do is do a 3-step cleanse. Do it in, if you have all 3 of these, great. If you don't, then obviously sage is fine by itself. You just have to do it pretty heavily. But do rosemary, cedar, and then sage, like in that order. And the reason I say do that one is if it worked, like if it was strong enough to clear out your area, then when you're done, it will have a pleasant aroma. It'll have like an inviting energy to it. If it didn't, then it will have a pungent aroma and still make you feel uneasy, in which case you do it again. I've never had to do it more than once because each of those herbs by itself is a powerful cleansing agent. But stacking them like that, make sure to kind of cover all your bases. Yeah. Like I forget how knowledgeable I am sometimes. All right, so I'm going to pick these up. But yeah, you should be good to go once you do that. That's actually really good advice for anybody that's going to like cleanse an area. Like do those 3 of rosemary, cedar, and sage. There you go, Gail. You're on the right path. You just really need to just hunker down and listen to your intuition, really. All right, Michelle. So who's next?
Alrighty, so next is Amanda, and then after Amanda, we have Karen. So Karen, for yours, let me know if you'd like to go audio or video with Kevin, or if not, let us know what deck you would like for him. But Amanda is next.
Okay. Amanda. Yes, Kathleen, you burned them, but and thanks for asking that question. Like some people don't really understand when you light sage or rosemary or cedar. It's usually good to have it in a bowl. If you have like a fan, that's great. If not, you can just use your hand. And I want to go ahead and clarify this for everybody that does any kind of like house cleansing of that sort. And Amanda, then I'll do the ascension reading for you. When you do a cleansing, you have to make sure you do it correctly. If possible, open the windows. If not, like say you're like maybe it's raining or some shit, I don't fucking know. But if it's not possible, like open up the windows. leave the front door open, because okay, I'll use this to kind of help out. If this is like your front door, or this is like the main entrance that you use, because some people they use the back door the most, others use the front. But whatever entrance is used the most, that's like the main entrance of your home. So you'll start there, and you'll go counterclockwise. So you're going to go to your right as you're, fanning out the smoke. But before you start, you're going to light it, let it burn just a little bit to kind of get it going. And then you're going to put that out because you want the smoke, not the fire. And if you have to relight it throughout, that's fine. Like some people are like, oh no, but no, fuck it, dude. Like shit doesn't stay burning all the time. If you have to relight it, it's fine. Like, don't worry about that. But once you light it and get the smoke going, you have to have an intention. So whether it's like a mantra that you say as you're doing it, but you're going to go counterclockwise. So you walk in the door, or you start at the door, you're facing into the house, you light it, get the smoke going, and you're going to go to the right. Because you're going to go counterclockwise, because you're going to come back to that door. And as you're walking through and you're spreading the smoke, then what you want to do is have an intention behind what you're doing. Like me, I say something along the lines of negative energies, negative spirits, you are not welcome here, be gone. And that kind of covers all bases. So as I'm doing that, I'm saying that and just going around. Yes, make sure to if there's closets, multiple rooms. If you're doing a whole house, when you go into each room, make sure you get it all throughout the room. Just keep going counterclockwise until you come to the back or come back to the main door. Once you come back to the main door, then you stand there facing outward and you fan it outwards as you're saying, your mantra. So once that's all done, if you're doing just sage, okay, fine. But if you're doing the 3-step thing, you do the rosemary first, then the cedar, then the sage. And all those 3 aromas blending together, if whatever you're cleansing for is gone, like I said before, it'll have a very homey and inviting aroma and feel to it. If it didn't work, like maybe it's some strong shit that's really clinging to your energy, then do it again and you should be able to notice a difference. Okay. Now that I've gotten that out the way, so Amanda, I need permission to connect to your energy. I mean, I don't need it because you made a donation. I just like to get confirmation that I have permission. Consent. We're in the age of consent. And that wasn't tongue-in-cheek sarcastic. I'm totally okay with that. It's how it should be. Okay. One. Two. 3. Ooh. Okay. How you doing? Okay. I haven't seen the unicorns card in a while, so I wasn't really familiar with it. It doesn't come up often. It's a unicorn. Um, okay, so unicorn energy is super awesome. Mainly because even if you just think about them, you are leveling up your energy. It's like you're kind of raising your energy to try to meet theirs. And with this one being in the past position, it's a seventh dimension card. At least they are. Um, but this one just tells me that, and tell me if I'm wrong, but part of your journey and part of your pull to it is that you really want to help people at large, like help humanity, help pretty much everything on the planet. It's like you have a desire to do that, but you don't know how to do it. Is that right? Okay. So that's the reason they're coming up is they're like, yeah, we can definitely help with that. With them being in the past position, it's probably the reason for that is they're the ones that kind of instilled that desire in you. Um, and now they're just kind of making themselves known like, hey, we did that. But you're able to connect with their energy. Like seventh dimension energy is obviously a lot better, a lot purer than ours. Um, but once you're able to connect with that energy, and you should be able to connect with it pretty easily because for you, since they're kind of already in your corner, all you have to do is start to kind of think about them. Uh, and like I said at the beginning of this, it automatically starts to raise your energy to try to attune with them. So what that will do is like tapping into their energy and using it. It helps give you the confidence and the knowledge to do what is right, um, and it gives you like the strength to do it as well. So the main reason for them actually coming up in the past position though is they have the ability to help you manifest something great for yourself. So what you need to do at this point is take the time to really think about what it is you would like the most to happen, not only for yourself, but for everyone else around you. Like make it something big. Um, and by giving yourself like that big goal, they'll help get you there. So the big thing about them showing up is just to set that goal. Have a marker to where, okay, I'm working towards this. You're working towards this, and they're going to help you get there. Because part of our ascension journey is not being aimless. That's like a mistake that a lot of people make is they're like, oh, well, I've, now I'm an awoken soul, but they don't really know what the fuck to do with it. So they're very all over the place. They don't know how to. It's not that they don't know how to. It's that they're not instructed to, like you're being, um, to set a goal for yourself. So if it were me, I would be like, I want to reach a point on my journey to where I can help the most people the fastest. Because in today's world, like things change so quickly that you know, people aren't that patient. But if I can help people do things quickly, learn things quickly, change quickly, then that would help facilitate the greater purpose of getting things done. So that would be like my thoughts, at least. So sit down with yourself for a bit today and really think about what big goal you would have for yourself that then filters down to everybody else. Sorry about that. So moving forward to the present position, you have Paul the Venetian. Now, this one is kind of interesting for your present position because Paul is easiest thing for me to say is like he's a muse of sorts. Like he wants he wants to like lift everybody up. He wants to have them be, creative, have them be free, have them, express themselves and, in practical ways, obviously. But the reason Paul is coming after this one, okay, is with this one, you're picking a goal for yourself. You're picking something to manifest. Paul will help you co-create that into reality. Paul will help you along the way to make that goal a reality. That's what he's here for. He will help lift you up in whatever way you need to. He will help, push you through whatever, boundaries you've set for yourself. He will help you break free of old thought patterns and not even your own, but like societal ones, cultural ones, things that are holding you back. He'll help cut those free and what that allows for is like the freedom of creativity. The things that, and a lot of times it's things that we don't even choose, but as we grow up, we go through life and parents, family, friends, school, other institutions, society at large, all these things put like limits on us. They put expectations on us. And we all have this tendency to kind of get wrapped up in trying to meet those expectations while staying underneath like whatever limits they've set for us. And Paul the Venetian is very much like, fuck all that. It's like, you do whatever the hell it is you want to do and, kick ass on the way. You can figure it out. Because what he'll kind of instill in you is the freedom of thought to figure out how to make that a reality. So he'll help make it a reality, but his biggest thing is going to be freeing you from all the bullshit that's holding you back. Because once you don't have all that stuff holding you down, holding you back, then you can fly high. You can move forward and backwards and sideways and diagonal ways and whatever other ways. And you're free to create the world that you want. So that's how those two are, in cahoots. Now, we've already had this guy come up, and it's the same message because he's in the same position. It's Lord Maitreya. And he's here because once you do these things, once you set that goal and once you make it a reality, Lord Maitreya will use you as an example for others so that they can follow your lead and create good things for the world. They'll break free of all the stuff that's holding them back. And that's what he's doing in the future position. It's like, this is your main goal for now. And that's set the goal, make it happen. Once you do that, then he'll be like, cool. Now we have set a pattern. We have set a path for others to follow. And it's because you did it. So now he'll be able to use you as an example of how to make that happen. And that's the whole point of a lot of our journeys, is to set an example for others to follow. Not so much like to follow us specifically, but follow the things that we've done. I mean, it's so different. Like emulating yourself after a great person. To use like an art analogy, if you copied Leonardo da Vinci's paintings, you would eventually learn the tricks that he taught himself and the stuff that he figured out, and you can then use what you learned from copying him to make your own way and make your own art. And that's what Lord Betrayal does. He uses us as an example of how to do things so that others can figure it out and do it for themselves as well. That's why he's there. So you have a little bit of work to do, obviously, but yeah, that's your purpose for now. You have any questions before I put these away? I know there's a delay, so I'm just like staring at the fucking screen. Okay, cool. All right, well, as long as you're good with everything. I'm not gonna lie. Like whenever I first got this deck, it tripped me out as I was going through it. I'm like, what in the fuck? So I'm like reading the names of shit and I'm looking at stuff. I'm like, what the? How high were they when they made this? But then I started using it. Like, oh,
that's funny. So the last person on your list is Karen Reynolds. And Karen, let me know if you'd like to pop on video or audio. If not, what deck would you like Kevin to pull from? Or would you like Kevin to pick? Just let us know. And hi, Sherry. Welcome to Soul Treats. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And I just want to thank everybody for being here today and
oh wow,
doing amazing. What?
like almost 3 hours.
Yeah, and being patient for your reading. So, and it's just really cool that Kevin's here. It's his first time on Soul Treats, and I'm hoping that Kevin will come back and be on again. And just really appreciate everybody being here. And while we're waiting for Karen, I just want to give a shout out to Soul Treats. The website is just about done, and there's actually some really beautiful pieces that are on there. Let me see if I can share the screen. There's some jewelry pieces that are designed that are for sale. So let me see if I can share this so you can see it. They're really, really pretty. Let's see here.
Did you make them?
No, actually, there is a beautiful woman named Kim who made these, and she's wrapped them, and you'd actually appreciate this. Kevin, let me just show you real quick. Share my screen.
Probably, because like I always do like the basic wraps.
Yeah.
I mean, I would do like, I don't think I ever saw anybody else do waterfalls the way that I did. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so she's got some I really love this amethyst one that's right here, but she's got some really beautiful stuff and some beautiful stones. And she actually did this one for me. This one here, I don't know if you can see it.
That lab?
Yep, nice big lab. I love it. Yep. So it's soultreats.ca is the website. So if you are interested, look at that lab down there at the bottom. Isn't that beautiful? I know, it's really pretty, right? Here,
hello.
let's blow it up. Yeah, it's really pretty. So yeah, I was so excited and happy when she sent this one to me. I was like, wow, it's so pretty. I should take it off and just really show you the work that she does here, so you can see it up close while we're waiting for
I'm looking at her wire work, and I'm like, I know how to do that.
I know, because you had some really good stuff too. Here we go. So there's this. I don't know if you can see it. It's actually great. Let's see. Which way am I going? I'm going this way. So her work is really, really pretty. And then this is the back. So she does some really neat work.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that carved?
I really like her stuff. And I like this little thing that she did in the middle. I don't know if you can see it. What's this little? Oh, hold on. Come on, focus, focus,
Focus.
focus, focus. Anyhow, it's some really, really great work that she does. But that's on the Soul Treats page, which is soultreats.ca. And it's up. I just have to enter the tax information. And I was a little too tired last night, but it's up and ready to go. But that lab is really pretty. Let me bring one more up. And I'm just looking for Karen's message, and it's not there yet.
Tell me that amethyst.
Look at this one. What is this called? This is Seraphinite. Is that how you pronounce it?
Seraphinite.
Thank you. I knew you would be able to pronounce that.
Unfortunately, I mean, if it's already out of the country, I wouldn't mind it. But unfortunately, the really good stuff of that material comes out of a country nobody likes right now.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's the amethyst one. It's really, I really love just the work that she's got here. This is the tiger's eye that she has. And okay, pronounce this one, Kevin.
Oh, scolecite. That's a high. That's a high vibe stone. It's one of the fuck me. What is it? I used to sell them. I had a whole set. It's like the 12. It's a set of 12 crystals. They're all high vibe.
There's one that I bought from you that I literally can't touch. I forget what it's called. It's like this kind of white stone. It's got like a little blue in it. I can't touch that thing.
If you send me a picture or whatever.
Yeah.
If you send me a picture, I can tell you what it is.
She's got the blue gold stone, and then another lab that's there, and then that last labradorite, which is gorgeous. Anyhow, soultreats.ca.
Hey, do you know why it's called labradorite?
No, why?
Because it was first discovered in Labrador, Canada.
Oh, good old Canada. All right. So, Karen, I don't see you anywhere. Does anybody see Karen in the feed by chance? I don't see Karen in the feed. What's the blue and gold called? The last one that was shown, Kathleen? Or was it the goldstone, the blue goldstone? Maybe
now goldstone is a man-made material, but it is made from natural things. It is usually colored glass with copper flakes in it. So it does have metaphysical properties from the copper that is in it.
And I know is it kind of like isn't there's like an orange one? Oh, you're calling Karen. Okay, Gail's calling Karen. Good.
There's actually because it's man-made, it could be colored any color, but blue is one of the most common. Then there's like the orangish looking one.
The orange one, that's really good for anxiety, like really good.
Yeah. That one is really pretty. Now, my favorite, and it's not very common, is green goldstone.
Haven't seen that one.
It's so gorgeous, but it's really hard to find. At least like good looking green goldstone.
Kevin, we're gonna need to do a segment of you going over stones.
Oh,
because
sure.
You're so knowledgeable of the stones. Okay, so Gail is calling Karen. I love how all these people are connected. Thanks, Gail.
And you showing me all those wire wraps, I'm like, that's probably having to ease back into like doing crystal sales.
I wonder if she fell asleep, but I know she picked the second deck, Gail is saying.
Okay.
All right. So, Gail, we can do that, or we can have Kevin pick.
Well, here, watch this. Nope. Okay. Don't you have to touch that one. Yeah. The Ascension one's like, if she wants. but the middle one is one that's definitely up there.
Okay. All right, we'll
I
do
mean,
the
we can give
middle
her a
one.
couple more minutes, I guess. We can give her a couple more minutes, see if she like pops in.
And can you tell people how to connect with you, please? Oh, we got kids out there going
Like
crazy.
this. No.
Just say
No,
ISS.
you can reach me through the Rook and Raven Facebook page. That's like my business page. You can direct message me through there. You can even set appointments for readings on there. And then you can do the website, which is scrolling along the bottom there. You can do Kevin at therookandraven.co. That's like a direct email line to me. So,
Can you remind me where you're located? What state?
hell. No, I'm in South Carolina now.
Okay. Jeez. You know, I have to say, you're like on my funny person list. Okay, Gail says she's not answering at all. All right, Gail, can you timestamp this for her at 3.02? Kathleen says, I need to go, but thank you, Kevin and Michelle. Fantastic night. You're welcome, Kathleen.
Thanks you.
For watching from way far away.
Way far away.
All right, so we're going to timestamp her. Gail, it's at 3.03.
Right. I usually like to have people here. They can answer any like clarifying questions, but I don't feel like I'm going to need that for this one. All right, definitely going to do a general. Y'all don't ever take offense to me laughing or my facial expressions. I do not have any control over it. I really don't. Like y'all should see me in public. Just watch me in public, and you're like, oh, I can see what he's thinking right on his face. Oh, I like this one. So for Karen, all right, let me get comfortable. I'm going to address you like this. So this being the card that represents you, I get the feeling that you're a very careful person. You're generally not spontaneous. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all. It's that you prefer to think things through. Hence why Choose Wisely is a card that came out representing you. The crossing card is of concern to me, though, because it's firm foundation. Usually, the crossing card is going to be the card that's like the most prominent issue that you have at the time. And looking at that card and looking at the recent past, conscious and subconscious minds, I get the feeling that you've gone through a little bit of a rough patch of late. So your foundation isn't as sturdy as it should be. With the heart chakra being the conscious mind, and like over here, you have emotional loss in the most recent past. That's where I'm getting like that not having the best of times of late. And your heart is definitely hurting. That's why it's on your mind. And subconsciously, conflict and defeat, you've more or less lost your way. You don't really feel that you can trust yourself at this point to make the wise decisions. And unfortunately, all I can say is that you have to be patient. You have to play the waiting game, because the only thing that's going to heal you at this point is time. There's no quick fix. So be patient, and you're going to be fine. I can say that just from here. I can say that with full confidence that you're going to be fine. Just like right now, you're going through some shit. And it's gonna get you to a point where you have to make some choices, some decisions about whether to stay where you're at or to go elsewhere. And that could be physically, like stay where you are or move, or it could be that, the path that you're on, stay there or move away from it. But what you should know is there's no wrong choice, because no matter what you decide, you'll be successful in what you do. So if you end up moving, cool. Wherever you end up, it's going to be fine. If you stay where you are, you'll still be fine. And it's just that it's going to require some patience on your part. It's going to be a fair amount of healing. And that you're just going to have to kind of start things new, which might be scary, but new things are kind of scary, but they're not always bad. So just kind of embrace the chaos in that regard. So there's really not a whole hell of a lot that I have to say over here, because you already know it. You know the story that's causing this or has caused this, and this is just going to be advice at this point. Here we have two different paths that lead to different experiences but the same kind of outcome, which kind of ties back into this with no matter what you choose to do, it'll be okay. You'll be fine. It'll be a success. So the first path is one where you more or less fake it till you make it. That's what the deception and envy, suffering and silence are. It's that you put on the brave face and don't let anybody know what's actually going on. That's the suffering and silence. And you don't really allow yourself to process what you need to. You don't really allow yourself to feel what you need to feel. You compartmentalize it, which allows you to put on the brave face, but inside you're kind of dying. And that actually ends up kind of affecting your mind, like your crown chakra. You may not make the best decisions, but it's not going to ever be so detrimental to you that it just completely destroys everything. So there's still hope. That's what the light card is hope at the end of the tunnel. It's just that this path, the way of just kind of compartmentalizing everything, shoving things to the side, and like I said, fake it till you make it. You're going to make some bad choices here and there, or maybe just not the best choices for you. And it just kind of prolongs your healing process to where you go through shit that you don't really need to. But you can grow from that. You can learn from that. So it's not all bad. Hence why there's the light at the end of the tunnel. So there's still a good outcome eventually, just way further down the line than this other path. Now, this other path has temptation as the first card. And I explained this in a reading earlier today, that it's one person with two different options. One has the person kind of turning to the shadow and, cutting themselves off from everything. The other is reaching out. The other one is reaching out and going towards the light, so to speak. It's reaching for the more productive path, and that's the path that this one is going to be. This is the more productive path. This is the more honestly, I fuck it. This is like the more common sense one. This is the one if you want to fuck shit up. This is the one if you want things to go well. Because if you choose this path and do things the way you should, then that leads to financial and material changes, which are going to be a good thing because you end up over here. But the changes aren't going to be bad. It's not going to be like, oh, money's going to be tight or anything like that. It's just that things in your physical life will get better. And while you may have to take some time for yourself, that's what the solitude is. Just taking time for yourself to deal with things is the best option for you instead of just compartmentalizing. Actually face it, because what that ends up doing is you process things the way you're supposed to, and you then end up having this harmony as your outcome. And what that last card that I thrown out there, the shadow card, it's a card that if it was in a different place in the reading, I would, okay, we have some shit to do. You have some shadow work to work on. But being that it's in an outcome, what that tells me is that along this path, you end up doing some work on yourself to achieve that harmony within yourself, so that you're not in disarray, you're not making bad choices, you're not, brain fogged or whatever. This is the path that I would suggest, obviously, but it's your choice. You can do this one or this one. Either way, you're going to end up learning some stuff about yourself, and learning better ways of doing things, especially like on an emotional level. So there you go. Those are the two paths that you have in front of you. Without you being here, I can't really hone in too much. But I'm pretty certain that you'll be able to understand what is meant by all of this. So there you go. Sorry that you're going through some shit though, and it sucks, but time usually heals all wounds. In your case, it's definitely going to be true, but pick a path. So there you go. Take from it what you will, my dear.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for being here. Joanne,
Yes.
thank you, Kevin, for my reading, and everyone else. Have a beautiful evening. I'm off to bed. So thank you, everybody, so much for being here on Soul Treats today. Today's Saturday with Kevin Haight. I'm looking forward to Kevin coming back. And please be sure to follow the Soul Treats Facebook page so that you can see the different events. Like tomorrow, I've got Monique that's going to be on, and she is a medium, but she draws at the same time of the
Oh, what are those?
So she does the portrait art as well. So definitely come check it out, because that's going to be really cool. Really cool. And I've seen
I don't even know what Claire ability that is. I'll call it Claire Da Vinci, but whatever. I mean,
Claire Da Vinci.
I like that one.
I don't know. Like when I do mediumship, like I can actually see the person. So,
okay.
but I draw like a 2-year-old, so my stick person will not look like the person that I'm seeing. So that blows everything out of the water. But what it is. Yeah, right. So it would never turn out the way that the person looked like. I could totally describe them, but
that's always me. Like that's me with art. It's like I see it in my head, and I'm like, that ain't fucking coming out on paper.
and I beg my child, because she's like this incredible artist, right? And she's 15, and I beg her. I'm like, okay, I'm going to describe this. Can you do it for me? She's like, no, Mom, you need practice. You just do it. Like, oh my Yeah, that's a teenager for you. But anyhow.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for being here. And excuse me. I'm going to end the broadcast, Kevin, but if you can hang out once I end it, and then we can chat after. So thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Hope to see you tomorrow, Sunday at 11
Hi,
o'clock.
everybody.
And down at the
blessings to
bottom
each and every one of you.
where it's scrolling, that's how you can connect with Kevin.
Yep.
All right. We're going to end the broadcast. Thanks.
Bye.